What's up, everybody? We are gonna do a reaction to another reaction from one of my favorite YouTubers, Young Don. I discovered him this year, and he's been putting out some interesting videos lately. I've been watching him for a while now, but we're gonna check out what his reaction is to this Andrew Tate boxing fiasco and see what's up. We all know he lost, but let's see what's up.
Loss right now. Andrew can handle the loss better. Maybe God decided.
Wow. It's an excuse,
maybe
bro.
If I won, we would have went out and celebrated that night, and Tristan would have smoked a bunch of cigars, and maybe he would have died 1 minute earlier.
Okay, wow. Yeah, trying to find a way to make himself the hero, to make excuses for his losses.
Bruh, that's really sad. That you're scratching and scraping and trying to find excuses.
So Andrew Tate is crying like a little baby, bro. He is whining, he is coping, because he is incredibly embarrassed. He has lost all aura. Of course, people like us, sane people like us, never thought this dude had aura to begin with. But he did have a large cult of insecure men that followed him and worshipped him, including the man in the pink gloves that beat his ass.
Really?
In this very fight.
I have all the respect in the world, man. This man literally pulled me out of a suicide, man. I was gonna kill myself after that first fight. This man lives every single day on his podcast. Told me if I do that shit, man, I don't care what anybody says about this guy, he's fucking dead.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Right at the end of the fight, after he beat Andrew Tate with terrible boxing skills, Andrew Tate, truly a fraud. This guy can't fight for shit. He lost to somebody who is clearly an amateur with very poor boxing skills. He cried, he broke down and cried about how much he loved Andrew Tate and Andrew Tate saved his life or some shit like that. Point is, there's a lot of guys out there like this, and many of them have lost respect for Andrew Tate because he's built his whole brand on, the traditional masculinity. You got to be able to fight. You always got to be training. You always got to be ready. World champion, kickboxer, all this shit, only to get his ass beat by a dude who clearly doesn't know what he's doing. So let's actually start this off and hear what some other people, boxers, boxing commentators, people in the fight world, what they had to say about this whole situation for you to understand, just in case you didn't watch the fight, for you to understand truly how pathetic of a performance this is. And then we'll go ahead and check out what he's saying now, because he can't stop crying, bro. He knows he's so embarrassed. He knows his entire legacy is it's just been flushed down the toilet now.
Is it fair to say that the greatest fraud check of all time happened on Saturday when
greatest fraud check of all time, bro?
Andrew Tate lost to Chase Damore.
Pretty bad.
This might be the quintessential fraud check.
Yeah.
This was some of the worst boxing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, it was pretty bad,
It made me want to commit to boxing and go on a Misfits run.
Facts.
That's the power of this fight. It's given me that level of delusion.
Yeah.
Round one, Tate comes
pretty bad, bro.
out, and there was obviously a lot of people there to watch Tate, and he did some good things. He jabbed Chase to the body. I thought he was trying.
Bro, when I say that KSI, Jake Paul, Deji, they are all technically better boxers than this Chase Damore guy. Yeah, he's big and athletic, but that's it, bro. When I say he fights like a retard, I'm not trying to, it's terrible, bro. And so, you see, like when Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson, you could see the age on Mike Tyson, but just from his movements, the way he punched, the way he slipped, you could tell Mike Tyson technically is a boxing genius, but he's just old as fuck now. That wasn't what we saw with this Chase Damore Andrew Tate fight. We saw two guys who don't know how to box. That's what it.
For the record, Mike Tyson could have knocked the living daylights out of Jake Paul if he wanted to. He could have knocked him out. I didn't think he could, but I saw some other videos. Even at his age, Mike still got speed, bro. He still got speed. He still got the skills. That don't mean he can take on a younger boxer who is who actually knows what he's doing. Jake Paul is a clown. And that fight wasn't a real fight. It was really a money grab. They were really just in it for the money, right? But at the same time, Mike was not taking that fight seriously. There's even screenshot of him fake punching the guy. He wasn't even trying to hurt him. So yeah, keep that in mind.
Looked like it was embarrassing. It was terrible. And that's fine when it's a YouTuber, an amateur YouTuber versus another amateur YouTuber. But when you're Andrew Tate and you've built your entire brand on, I'm this big bad guy who could kick anybody's ass, multiple belts, you know, the fact that he got his ass beat by a guy who clearly doesn't even know how to box, bro, it's pretty sad.
After the first round, I looked at, and he was on his stool like,
yeah, that was
like,
another thing.
Oh shit, he's huffing after one, dude.
Right.
After one round, because he won the first round.
I mean, credit to Andrew Tate, you know, stepping up and doing his thing too. But like, and I love the way he presents himself and how he challenged himself to go do something. But you know, it's like at the end of the day, that fight was horrible.
He better not do this again.
Chase Demore, his defense is like painfully bad.
Yeah.
And Andrew Tate came out
hands down the whole fucking time, bro. Chase Demore, his hands are down the whole time. He's essentially serving up his chin on a platter, bro.
there, and he didn't look too bad.
And he wasn't pressuring Andrew either. He wasn't pressuring him, bro. The whole fight, Chase is doing this the whole fight, bro. Just pawing him the whole fight. It was horrible, man.
In that first two rounds, I'm telling you,
Was he flailing at the end?
He came out there composed. He was throwing some nice jabs to the body, and I think he thought he was going to catch Chase Demore a little bit like harder, but he just didn't seem to have that thump.
Like, he just didn't seem like he was. He seemed like he was starting to fatigue pretty early on. First round, second round, you kind of already start seeing it. But you got to push your cardio. Cardio's king. It doesn't matter how good your skills are. If you're absolutely gassed out, cardio is gonna, like, Chase Demore beat Andrew Tate.
There's this great saying. It says, "Fatigue makes cowards of us all." Fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Wow.
Usually, the first guy to get tired loses. That's how it works.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, if you're a heavyweight and you got power and you can put a guy away in the first couple of rounds, that's different. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have the power to knock somebody out and that guy has way better cardio than you, as long as he can just like not get knocked out and then drag you into deep water, bring you into round 5, 6, 7, 8, you're fucked. You're fucked. He's just gonna beat you up now because you're too tired. You can't. Your punches have no power. You can't slip. You're too tired, bro.
His cardio was better.
If I had to explain the fight, I felt good. Fighting camp went good. I felt good psychologically. First couple rounds, I was winning. I think when we start tying up, he's just really big, really young, really fit.
I don't want to hear this, nigga. Fucking look at David Goggins. That guy's running 100-mile marathons. I think Andrew Tate is like 39. He's still in his 30s.
No,
he
he's
is
40.
not so old that you can explain this away.
Saying I would have won if I didn't get tired is identical.
Right.
Identical to someone going out, getting kicked in their forehead, and then going down unconscious onto the canvas and being like, I would have won if I didn't get kicked in the face.
Exactly.
Identical.
Yeah.
There is no difference between those two things.
Getting tired, being in good shape is a part of fighting. That's a part of it.
Being tired makes everyone beatable.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Like, Tate was in survival mode really from the midway point of round 3 till the end of the fight. Like, I looked up at the clock. I'm sitting there, by the commentary desk. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the screen. I'm looking at the time and the rounds, and it was like midway through the third, and Tate was gassed, like done. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna get knocked out. Somehow he survived, and it's not really a somehow thing. It's because Chase just refuses to put punches together in any orderly fashion and give himself space to operate.
Like, bro, look at him. Look at this. Look at this, bro. It's so bad. It's so bad. He's a terrible fighter. He's horrible. There is no excuse for a guy like Andrew Tate, bro. It was terrible.
He threw uppercuts from his fucking ankles, rear uppercuts that were catching Tate in the later rounds once Tate was completely gassed. But this was some of the lowest level boxing I've ever seen in my life, and I've watched women's MMA for fucking years.
Can you imagine how arrogant and how much showboating Andrew Tate would have done if he had won? See? I told you I'm the top G. See? I told you I was the man. Don't you ever doubt me. Do what I do, guys, and you can be great just like me. It would be non-stop showboating. It would be non-stop glazing himself, acting like he's some divine being that's untouchable. So I think this is a humbling moment for him. And what makes it even more humbling is that he got beat down by a sassy garbage fighter like this guy. I think I saw this guy fight Stephen Knight and lost. I think so. Yeah, I'll double check that.
Okay, all right.
Juliana.
Let's not. That's unnecessary.
Pena has better boxing than both.
He was getting hit with stuff that were like comically bad punches, and he couldn't get out of the way of them. It's like, this is not your image, and you know,
you're misrepresenting yourself because it sounds really cool to like the average 14-year-old. Like, man, this guy Andrew Tate sparring for 50 minutes. This guy's a monster. And then you look at it and you're like, all right, come on. Like, now, where was that 50-minute sparring cardio when you were boxing this influencer? You know, that's where you have to actually kind of show what you were talking about. And again, that's what I mean. Like, don't say those things.
Yeah, like he said recently that I think he went to Saudi Arabia and he fought like 15 guys back to back or some shit like that. Like, he was sparring for 50 minutes straight and he beat all of them. And bro was gassed in like 6 minutes in this fight, bro, against one guy who doesn't even know how to fight.
I thought Andrew Tate was a world champion. I thought he was going to demolish Chase.
Bro, when I say KSI is infinitely a better boxer than Andrew Tate, I'm not even joking. Like, if KSI had fought Chase Demore, KSI would have looked more technically sound than Andrew Tate. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jake Paul.
He's actually pretty good.
They all look like better boxers than Andrew Tate. It was bad, bro. Bad. It was definitely an exposure, bro. An exposure. So, okay, god damn it. I can listen to people shit on Andrew Tate all day. But let's go ahead and check out what this dude is actually saying, bro, because it's pretty pathetic. Check this out. Look at this.
If I want to get spiritual about all of this.
Spiritual. Let's hear it.
One of the most frustrating things a man could ever go through is losing a fight publicly. It's the most shameful, the most embarrassing, the most putting your manhood to the test moment you could ever go through. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it takes a while to recover emotionally from this. You know, you feel lesser than. I don't think a man will become suicidal, but he's ruined. He feels ruined. It's so frustrating losing a fight to another man in public like that. Anyway, let's continue.
You have to understand that there are forces larger than us people that exist. And I said that the answer was already written. Why did I get tired? I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
You got tired because your cardio was ass. Probably because you smoke cigars, and that's why your cardio is ass.
The only thing that makes sense is that I was not supposed to win. Why was I not supposed to win? Is the world a better place now that I've lost?
Yes, it is. Because you're a joke. And less people are looking up to you now. Even if it's one less lost, misguided boy, the world is a better place.
But who should they look up to, though?
The win means more to Chase than it would have mean to me. Maybe Chase couldn't handle the loss.
Everybody thought you were going to win. Everybody bought into this bullshit. This, oh, I got all these belts, world champion. If Chase had lost, people would have been like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. He's an amateur boxer. He's terrible. He doesn't have good form. All he has going for him is size. That's really it. Size and athleticism that is connected to his size, because he's not even coordinated with his athleticism. He doesn't look smooth. He doesn't look graceful. It's very sloppy. It's very awkward. And so if he had lost, everyone would have been like, okay, that makes sense. It's kind of like how Jake Paul just lost to Anthony Joshua. That's exactly what was supposed to happen. You were supposed to put a clinic on this guy. You were supposed to drop him. You never dropped him, not once. You were supposed to drop him and possibly knock him out, clean out.
That would have been good for him.
You just got beat up, bro. You got beat up for 3 rounds. It was pathetic.
Maybe God decided, you know what, Chase has been through enough with mocking and things on the internet. Chase doesn't need the loss right now. Andrew can handle the loss better. Maybe God decided.
Wow.
Maybe if I won, we would have went out and celebrated that night, and Tristan would have smoked a bunch of cigars, and maybe he would have died 1 minute earlier.
Okay, wow. Yeah, trying to find a way to make himself the hero, to make excuses for his losses. And listen, here's the problem with this kind of rhetoric coming out of a guy like Andrew Tate. His whole brand is built around this idea that you are in control of everything, right? If you're poor, it's because you're not working hard enough. Right? If you don't have the girl, it's because you haven't worked on yourself enough. You don't have enough money. It's always all your fault. If you lose, you're a loser. It's your fault. Well, then the guy you call a brokey, maybe God wanted him to be a brokey. Maybe he.
Well, some of that is true. If you want girls, you gotta work on yourself, right? If you want respect, you gotta learn. You gotta find a way to earn money. And I'm not saying it's easy. There are challenges, becoming financially free is definitely a challenge. But if you could just accomplish that, your life will be better in so many ways, right? So working on yourself, self-improvement is not a bad thing. So the Andrew Tate is speaking some truth, but at the same time you have to be realistic. Not everybody can accomplish that, but I think it's something you gotta die trying. You know what I mean? You don't give up just because it didn't work out in the time frame you wanted to work. You got to keep going until the day you die. You got to keep going until you successfully become a better man.
Was destined to be a brokey, because if he had money, he would have paid for something that would have led to something else that would have killed this random person. That's the logic he's using right here, which again is a hallmark of a grifter, of a cult leader. Is the goalpost is always moving, and it's always moving to accommodate them when they fall short of the standards that they preach to their cult.
I agree with that.
And maybe I get an extra minute with my brother because I lost. And if that's the case, then I'm glad I lost. You have to have faith in a higher power. There's a lesson in all of this. And I don't need to know exactly what it is. If God decides that for some reason he's going to instantly gas me when I was in perfect physical condition so that I lose, then I have to accept God's decision. And I'll take the punches in the face like a man. And I'm not going to bitch. I'm not going to complain. And I'm not going to cry. I'm going to take it. God decided on that day that that's what has to happen to me. So I did it.
You have done nothing but bitch and complain and cry. Man, look at the fucking swallow as he knows that he's just lying through his teeth. He looks down. Yeah, this is why he always wears glasses, by the way. He's always been hiding. Anybody who wears glasses on camera on a regular basis, bro, they are hiding. They are hiding because the eyes, they never lie. The eyes tell all. Look at this. You are poor. You are unimportant. Men do not fear you. Your woman disagrees with you. Your lives are shit. If I was forced to endure a year of your life, it would be the worst level of depression imaginable. And then this guy replies, I am poor, but I work with special needs students who love me and live a fulfilling life. I don't need anyone to fear me. I am content being appreciated. I am spending Christmas with the woman I love and our 3 gorgeous daughters. We don't agree on everything, and that's okay. Yeah, this is what a real man sounds like, by the way. This guy, Andrew Tate, constantly needs validation and people to think that he's important and scary. Well, what you chase escapes. You wanted so badly.
Okay. I think we got the best things we can find out of this video. You know, Andrew Tate lost. Now he's making excuses. But I think the best thing you can take away from this video is learn to be careful about who you follow. If you are someone who's looking for a role model, be more careful. Do some research because a lot of times these people on the internet they're a bunch of charlatans and grifters and and one day like with Andrew Tate, God's gonna pull your card and then you're gonna look really bad. You don't look like the fraud you really are. But anyway, give young Don a like, subscribe to his channel, tell him I sent you. You know, young Donnie does some good work on his channel. So show him some love and obviously don't forget to show me some love by subscribing to my channel. I would appreciate it. I would love to do this full time with your help. So thank you in advance. Let this video blow up and have yourself a nice day. And a Happy New Year. See ya. Peace.